right. So, hey, Ron, how's it going?
All right, it's going good here, Jesse. Looks like we got some nice volatility here
Yeah.
again today in the markets. And
I mean, it looked like it was going to be an update today. and then, and
it,
then we got another one of those midday reversals, just like yesterday.
yeah, it sure did. This day started out real nice on the way up, and we had a nice, everything was in agreement, 3 minute, 9 minute, and it went up very nicely. And then, yeah, definitely took a little turn about 8 o'clock Pacific, which is about 11 Eastern, and then as you can see on the chart, you had a red bar, red dot
Hmm.
coming in, and then it's kind of giving us the clue. We exited the long trade, picking up a few points, but not going to go short yet because of the clearly the 9 minute hidden support points there. And then it looks like right in here, technically we could have went short,
Hmm.
but there's still too much of a distance there. More than 3 points away from the little red or blue dots, the prices they get a little stretched and tend to pull back, just like it did in here. So this was a tough downtrend to pick up actually in real time.
Yeah, I
We
agree with
really
that.
never.
There's lots of opportunities, even though, this trade as it's starting to run, we're seeing the move. Right now, after prices are pulling back, I think right now is a perfect time. And I think that's why we kind of wanted to get on the call together to take a look at the price action here. Currently trading at 21.33. It's right at the 9 minute resistance. And for me, that's the sweet spot that I really like because right now we don't have a signal, right? But it's our no trade zone. But it'd be a really clear binary outcome if prices started to roll back down. It told us or showed us that there really is resistance there at 21.33, and we'll see if we get it. And then if prices are able to roll down and probably break down through maybe like another, if it trades down 2 or 3 points there, we'll probably get a good sell signal.
And what you mean by sweet spot, just to clarify, is you mean if the bar turns red, just want to clarify for everybody else, if the bar turns red here, then that would be a super sweet spot
Yeah.
because you have red bar, red dot, and a red 3 minute if it turned to red,
Yeah.
and you're right at the 9 minute resistance. So it's almost like you're bouncing off of the 3 minute and the 9 minute at the same time. So it's kind of
We call it
like
the
a
sweet
like
spot within the sweet spot, right? So it's
right,
like you
right.
said, it's a super double sweet spot. But we'll see if we get it. Actually,
Yeah, yeah, interesting. It's just this is just like a perfect no trade zone at the moment,
mhm.
where it's just got to be a little patient, got to have a little discipline to stick with the signals and follow a couple simple rules that we apply. But yeah, right now we're sort of at a crossroads. It's just this
I
has
think the
nothing to
important thing is
do.
not
Yeah,
to try to guess, right? I mean, like we could easily say, all right, I think that there's 21.33 is a resistance level, and it makes sense because the Able trend is defining that there, and we're seeing the market sort of reacting to it. But until we get the signal, I don't think that we want to try to guess and assume that that is going to be the point. Maybe after the
absolutely.
fact.
Absolutely, because when you try and guess, and we all probably have a little bit of a tendency and to try and do it or want to do it. And when you try and beat the signal and try and get in a little quicker so you can maybe get in at a better price, doesn't work. That's the times you usually get zapped. So
Well, you
you're
take
better
those
off.
extra losses, and then the extra losses really make it very difficult to actually execute on the good trades.
Right.
Only able to get up one more tick and it starts to go down, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be underwater in their position immediately. So a lot of times we see that false breakout. But I guess that's just kind of storytelling and interesting. I think for us, if we do see the reaction here and it starts to roll down, I think that would be awesome. And so looking for it here. Actually, seeing it pretty it's stronger here in ES though. So that's I guess it's the
Wow.
perfect reason to say why we don't guess, right? Why we don't just assume
That's
that that's the point.
that's right. Yeah. That's a perfect reason there why you never try and beat the signal and try and think you can guess or get a little.
So Ron, let me ask you a question. Just based on what we've seen here, because we didn't try to guess, maybe we didn't take an extra loss here, right? Because how would you have structured the position and all of that? But let's say, for example, sometimes when we see a break like this and we see the spike like this, prices sometimes, especially like we were saying here in the Russell, this one here, this being the weaker product, actually didn't spike to the upside. Now, let's say for example, this being the case, if this is really our weakness and our double top, and if prices start to roll back down, if
If
this
the ES
if
turns
the
red,
yeah if the ES comes back down to around 2130, 31 and a half, and it breaks the little blue dot here at support and it turns red, you would take that signal, wouldn't you?
oh yeah. I really like, besides adding on the 30-minute, like we were talking about yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I also like when I see a couple of different indices, like, really go in the same direction. Boy, that
Mm-hmm.
just, to me, just gives it a little bit more of a boost, little more confidence. But it was interesting how the 30-minute was long overnight
Mm-hmm.
and before the market opened up. And then
There it is.
it did open up strong. And so that 30-minute is really helpful, especially at the open,
Right. Yeah,
kind of give you a
especially at
little
the
bit of,
open right here. I mean, we saw that,
yeah,
we talked about immediately from today's call, we basically just started talking about the reversal, but there was a huge move here basically to start the day. I mean, it was a little before the open, but if you're trading
yeah,
futures, that was also at the kind of sweet spot within the sweet spot. We had this move up
yeah, it
here,
was.
and then it came right down to
Right.
2133 and a half, tested it here. Actually, like we see here, it broke it by a little bit, but then came back up, and we got the buy signal here at 2135.
Mhm.
I think that looks pretty good now here after the fact. So if we were to see a sell signal coming in post this call, I think it would be an interesting one to try to take a stab at.
Yeah.